All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Cosmic Heayman Podcast. I am Cosmic, and welcome to the channel from our recurring viewers, and for new viewers, welcome to the channel. So I want to talk about, in this podcast, a very deep topic that'll definitely hit home for a lot of people. And I want to talk about nobody's going to save you in life. People can point you to the right direction. They can influence you. You know, you have great role models, great positive people in your life. I know we all do. But when it comes to like actually doing what you got to do in life, hitting those high goals, setting the bar high for yourself, figuring out who you are, people can definitely guide you and influence you to do great stuff, because it's definitely happened to me. I know it's happened to you. But when overall the hard work, that part needs to come from you as well, you know. There's your own application to all this. You got to apply something to get what you want out of life, because no one's going to sit here and hand you shit, you know. And that's the thing that not a lot of people talk about. I know even myself at one point, I still struggle with this, to be honest. It's like, we want stuff quick. We want our problems to be solved. We want this lifestyle that we want, you know. We want all these problems and worries and anxieties and stress to disappear and to leave us alone. And sometimes we look through that from other people. We look through it through alcohol or drugs or sex, whatever it might be. And when it comes to life, nobody's going to save you from the shit that you get yourself into. You know, some people definitely try their hardest. And if you're willing to accept that people are helping you, then you're helping yourself as well, get yourself out of a position that's bad for yourself, you know. But you got to help yourself, because overall, this is your body, this is your life that you're living, this is your one shot, you know, in life right now that we know physically. So it's like, you got to be able to just take care of yourself and to push yourself. And it's hard too. If I can't say like, oh yeah, push yourself in, it's easy, right? Because some people have been through terrible, shitty things in life. So I mean, it's not as easy as like, yeah, move forward, you got this. Like, it's a lot deeper than that. But I feel like if you can figure out who you are, if you can figure out your value that you bring to not only yourself but the world, or at least your small world that you live in. Start small, you know. If you can figure out like who you are, the value that you bring, the value that you have in yourself that's inherent and that's inside of you, and you figure out what you want to do in life, I feel like you're setting yourself up really great for success in terms of whatever success is for you, because it's different for every single person that's ever lived in the existence of this universe, you know. And like I said, it's not easy to figure out any of those things, like what you want to do in life. Sometimes that's hard. Who you want to be, what things you like, especially when you're an adult, stuff gets harder. More anxiety and stress gets piled on sometimes in your life, and you got to navigate that. And when it comes to you hitting all your goals in life, you can't do that sitting on your ass, you know, or giving up on yourself, or looking at the world and say, woe is me, or anything like that. And like, I don't know, I don't like when people complain. It's like, I don't know, if you're in a good spot and you're not starving, if you're not dodging missiles every day, or just bullets or all that, like if you live in a decent place, a decent mid-class lifestyle, it's like, you gotta work on yourself, continue to self-improve, and to be thankful for what you have, because all that can be taken away from you in a second. You know, all it takes is some event to just change your entire life, you know. And when it comes to starting your life and changing your life, that's the part where I'm telling you that like nobody's coming to save you, and you got to make something of yourself. There's a purpose for you being here, I believe. I'm one of those people that believes that whether people turn out good or evil or in between, that every human that's ever walked the face of the planet, shitty or in between or a good person, has had some role or some purpose to play in life. And I definitely believe that you do too. And I know I have a purpose. And you know, sometimes I have my own anxiety, my own stress, my own fears, for sure. I'm not trying to sit here and make these podcasts and like act like I'm perfect, that I'm like a higher moral compass or anything like that. I'm definitely a flawed person. I'm definitely someone that's trying to improve themselves. I definitely struggle with a lot of stuff myself, but like, I stopped giving myself excuses, or I give myself outs, you know. Like, I'll blame myself if I know I fucked up, and I'll take it on the chin, you know. Or if I mess up with somebody, I'll at least try to figure out the situation. I've gotten better at seeing things from both sides. I'm getting better at forgiveness and all that. So I mean, I'm growing, you know. I'm only 22 now, turned 22 in April, so just still growing. I'm still a young adult, but I definitely got a little bit of wisdom. So it's cool to see that early on, and I'm definitely like happy that like through these podcasts or through whatever conversations I have with people, like I was saying earlier, it's good to plant the seed and be an influence for somebody, but it's up to you to save yourself from whatever you're going through. And it's not easy, and I get that. I know it's not. It's not comfortable. It's not fair. But that's a lot of life, is not being fair. But if you're doing what you need to for yourself, I feel like that's important. It's got to mean something, right? Because you're changing for you. You're not changing to get a girl or a guy. You're not changing. I don't know. You shouldn't change to try to fit in either. Like, if you are who you are and you're improving, and if you can get comfortable in your own skin, find out things you like, find out what you want to do in life, you're better off than a lot of people that can't do that. Maybe you can be a influence for people as you're improving and to inspire people, you know? I know as men, it's important to be leaders. I feel like for the same for females as well. But for the guys, you know, definitely like work towards being that, work towards being a leader. But before you can do any of that, even for myself, you know, I got to live by my own standards. I got to live right myself, and I got to self-improve so that I'm not being two-faced or a hypocrite when someone looks at my life like, oh, you never do anything you talk about. Like you're, you know, like a false prophet type of thing. But yeah, just make sure that you're being true to yourself and that you're getting yourself out of situations. Definitely ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I used to hate doing that in my teens, all throughout my teens and my childhood. Me personally, I would never ask for help for things. I thought it was a weakness. I would never like to open up because I thought as a man, you're taught like, yeah, you know, opening up all the time, it could be good or bad or whatever, depending on who you're doing it to. But it's definitely good to be vulnerable sometimes because, I mean, Jesus, we're all human, you know? That's another reason why, like, I think sometimes, like, these red pill channels, like, they take that, oh, you gotta grind, you can never open up, you gotta be a Sigma male, like, all that stupid shit, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, at some point, bro, you're gonna have to be human. You're gonna have to be vulnerable, and you're definitely gonna have to, like, lay the load of life and like, take a break for a minute. Not forever, but just for a second in life, and, like, release whatever you gotta release out, you know? If you gotta cry, if you gotta talk to someone, if you gotta get therapy or help, if you gotta stop an addiction, if you need anybody to, you know, to help you, you should get that help, and that's important, you know? Because it's showing that you have the initiative to want to better yourself and get yourself out of a crappy situation. Which goes back to what I'm saying, you know, like, let's say that you stayed in that same spot forever, you're alcoholic, or you're bitter all the time, you have a hardened heart. It's hard for people to get to know you because maybe you went through something traumatic and, like, you're shelled up, you know? You're not doing yourself a favor, you're killing yourself, you know? Not physically, but it's just a mental aspect of it. Maybe even a spiritual if you believe in that. Definitely an emotional. And I know that life's not easy. And like I said, it's not fair, but you have to save yourself, and you have to be more than what you think you can be, and you got to keep pushing yourself. Whether you think it's easy or not. Like, sometimes I don't want to have to do stuff as an adult that I should, but I do it anyways, you know? Sometimes I falter, which is true. But I know that if I work on myself now, if I go through a lot of shit I don't want to go through, if I got to continue going through a lot of anxiety or stress or fear or anger or worriness towards my future or fear of an outcome or fear of the unknown, I got to go through it, and I just have to be willing to, because I know that once you're going through fire, right? Once you're through a valley that you can't see, you know, a darkened valley with you don't know what's in there, it makes you a harder person. It makes you a better person because you're being defined by the fact that you have resilience and courage and bravery to even make it past a lot of shit that you went through in life, and that you definitely have a good heart to, like, better yourself because, I mean, it's your body, it's your life, you know, like, you're in your body, take care of yourself, be healthy, and take care of your life, you know, live a life that's appropriate to benefiting you and hopefully other people so that they can take up after that. And I think that's important for a lot of people to do because I think, in my opinion, my outlook on life is that you are a small piece of the bigger overall puzzle of what life is and what you can offer people in terms of happiness or gratitude or humbleness, you know? And it all starts with yourself. Like I said, it all starts with you. So you got to work on yourself, and you got to save yourself from whatever you're going through, even if it's hard, even if it's uncertain, you know, whatever negative thing, connotation that might be attached to that. Like I said, none of it's easy. I'm going to keep saying it. But I like to be as transparent as possible, you know, because, like, what I put out there as a content creator, as a person, as a human being, I want to make sure that I can give an honest message from my experience. That's one thing I like to talk about as a human being, is my own personal experience. I'm not giving you guys advice or words of encouragement if I didn't already go through a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, because what would be the point if I just sat here and lied about a lot of stuff I went through, or lied about this topic, you know? It doesn't benefit me, and that's not who I am. Like, yeah, I've lied before. I mean, we all lied in life. But when it comes to like real talk, when it comes to mental health or deep talk, it's like I have no other option but to be me, and I do not care what people think because I know who I am, and people can't take that away from me. Whether they, oh, you're weak, you shouldn't open up, or oh yeah, your message is just it only worked. Like, it's like negative stuff that people would say. I don't really care about the negative. I care more about the fact that like if I can put a message out there, and like I said, if I can plant the seed for somebody the way it was planted for me by multiple, countless amount of people in my life, then I want to do that for somebody else because I don't know, I can end up saving somebody's life through a video, through me just talking about the experience of what we're talking about today, or through my other videos that I've made before. I think that's very important to set the example and to set a legacy so that people can look at that. And then, as time goes on, as years and years and decades and hundreds of years go on, that people can continue to do what you did, but multiply that 100, tenfold, you know what I mean? And continue to improve themselves and whatnot. And I don't expect everybody in the world to like obviously listen to me or agree with me because every human's different. Every human's got their own perspective and whatnot. But I definitely hope that like when people see this, they can listen to it and kind of see where I'm coming from. And yeah, I don't mean it to be a negative connotation when I say nobody's going to save you in life, but that I mean that like you ultimately have to save yourself as well. You got to do your part. You have to put in your work to do so. You got to apply yourself. And that's the part that I want to talk about because I don't know. I don't hear a lot of people telling you how you fix your problems. I hear more about the solutions and whatnot, or I hear about a false way you can fix your problems or course that you got to get or something like that. And everybody's got their own way of telling people how to fix shit. For me, I just like to talk about it, talk about what I went through. And then if someone ever wants to have a conversation with me, I can have that with them and give them my experience and see how that can benefit them, because sometimes people need to hear it from somebody else because maybe you went through something similar and then you can help them in that aspect, I don't like to sell false dreams or sell people short of anything I'm talking about because that's just not who I am, and I don't know, I'm thankful that I can talk like this and to put it out there because I used to be nervous about even talking about stuff like this because I don't know how people are going to take it, but it's just important that people know that mental health is important. I'm not just saying that to be a part of a bandwagon or community or anything, but it's extremely important. It's valuable. And I can't wait to talk about all this stuff, like on a bigger scale and a bigger platform for more people and to help more people out and to just talk. I love to talk. I love to have conversations. So I definitely would like to talk to people from all parts of the world, from all different places, different races. It doesn't matter to me. People are people and everybody can have a conversation with each other if they're both open-minded and want to sit down and have a cool conversation about any topic. And that's what my podcast is definitely about. As much as I talk about self-improvement and a lot more deeper stuff and more maybe philosophical and more internal stuff with the human mind and how you should feel and how to improve and all that, I definitely wouldn't mind like talking about like a billion other things on the podcast as well, but I feel like for this podcast, for this episode, to be honest, like I always make these podcasts when I'm going through what I talk about, sometimes after, but I like to put my headspace out there and just to talk and to see like where I was at the time. So like when I look back in the future, when I look back at these past videos, I could see where I came from and who I helped. And, I don't expect anything from anybody besides, maybe a cool message like that was a good video, like you helped me out, like something cool like that. But I'm also doing this for myself as well, and I think that's why I'm passionate about being an entertainer, a content creator, because it's much more bigger than myself. I'm a small part, I'm a small piece of the puzzle, but I'm glad to be who I am, where I came from. And I went through a lot of stuff. I know we both, speaking to the person listening, whoever you might be, like we both went through things that we didn't particularly want to go through in life, but we are where we're at, and hopefully we're showing up for ourselves and for the people that need it, and that we're saving ourselves and we're crawling out of that hole that is depression or a hard life or sadness or sickness or whatever it is, anxiety, stress, guilt, shame, whatever that negative thing is. All that is tossed in a hole with you in there, and there's a rope that leads towards the light. And that's what you should be climbing, You should be fighting to stay on this rope and to climb out of this this big hole that sometimes we either put ourselves in, or maybe we had a rough childhood, or maybe we had a traumatic experience, whatever it might be in life. We all started in a hole at some point in life. And it's our job, it's our duty to get ourselves out of there and ultimately help someone else. Doesn't matter who they are, what they look like, to spread a good word, That's why I think everybody should have a podcast that is into self-improvement or deep talk, or just wants to put their feelings out there, And I don't know, I just think it's a cool thing that if I can do it, then why not you? You could save someone's life, you can change someone's ways. I've seen it, firsthand, like with other people. I've seen their lives changed by someone helping them. Even with me, a few people I've helped out, I've seen like a change, And I think that's the important thing, is to always know what the goal is. What's the mission statement? Oh, that's what we're gonna call the next podcast. What's the mission statement of your life, of your goals, of who you are, and the impact that you're gonna leave, not only for yourself but for other people, and what they're gonna say about you when you're not here, when you're not around anymore, or even when you are around but you're not maybe in the same spot, the same city, the same state, So that stuff does matter. And I don't say like I said, I don't mean any negative connotations with the podcast out of nobody's coming to save you. But like I was saying, to go full circle on that, just to wrap it all up, because I know you guys got things to do and everything. Nobody will ever come and save you from the things that you get yourself in. They will only influence you and plant the seed for you to do better. But for you, you're the ultimate thing that can go from destroying yourself to completing yourself and living a life of fulfillment. And I ain't trying to sell you some dream or some hope. It's not a hope. I don't think that. I think it's a fact that if you work on yourself, if you work on your life, if you work on positivity, but you also work on your struggles, your weaknesses, and you're willing to talk about it, and you're willing to help the world out too, or start small with your family, your friends, your community, that you're doing great things and that you're slowly getting yourself out of whatever struggle that you might have. And even when you self-improving or getting better, there's always going to be new doors to walk through with new chapters of your life that'll bring about a lot of positives from putting in all that hard work, whether it's staying fit, whether it's staying mentally sharp, whether it's staying emotionally strong or spiritually strong. Whatever you're going through, it'll bring all that great stuff to you, into your life, into other people's life. But you also got to know that, you always have the negatives at some point in life, It comes back to attack every now and then in life, that every time that you go through something that was tough, something that was uncertain, something that wasn't fair, it doesn't matter what it is that you went through that was negative. It does matter what you went through that was negative, because you need to count it as experience. And once you look at it and you count it as experience, you can count that as growth, and you can wear that as a badge of honor. Like, this is where I came from, and this is the shit that I overcame. And that should make you proud, and that should be a part of your life story. So that's really all I wanted to talk about, guys. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to save yourself. But be open to taking help, advice, being open-minded, and I don't know, just being a lot more, I would say a lot more free in terms of your thinking and your perspectives, and continue to improve yourself. And to start with yourself first. And it's not selfish, it's not arrogant, it's not narcissistic to self-improve. Especially if you want to have a family in the future, or any of the stuff we talked about, and inspiring others and all that. It's not selfish. So make sure that you start with yourself, and that you make yourself proud, so that in the future you can make other people proud of themselves and help them out through anything that they go through, thick or thin. So yeah, hopefully this topic about nobody's coming to save you, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts and where you guys came from in terms of your growth as a person, your self-improvement and all that. And if you guys can, please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I know every YouTuber says that, but I know you guys have been subscribing. You guys have been loving my gaming content and all that. So thank you guys for supporting me. It means a lot, and it just helps with the YouTube algorithm. Every time you guys like a video, or you guys comment down below and I can talk to you guys, or whatever you guys do, like sharing my channel, or my videos, I definitely appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed, so, definitely comment down below. I'll shout you guys out. I'll talk to you guys. And until then, you guys stay safe, stay happy, keep self-improving, drink your alkaline water, and I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take it easy.